Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Edu. Today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 4 June 2020. So let's start the session. First news is central government announced the development of new Greenfield Expressway to Amritsar. And this new Greenfield Expressway will be part of Delhi Amritsar Expressway. It will be built to connect the city of Nakodar to Amritsar. This expressway will pass through Sultanpur Lodi, Goindwal Sahib and Khadur Sahib. With this, the road from Amritsar to Gurdaspur will be completely signal free, and this will also provide an option to go to Gurdaspur via Nakodar through either Amritsar or Kartarpur. The recently developed Dera Baba Nanak and Kartarpur Sahib International Highway will also be connected to this Greenfield Expressway, and after completion of this project, it will take only 4 hours to reach Delhi Airport from Amritsar. This is an important project, and if this project gets completed, it will take only 4 hours to reach Delhi Airport from Amritsar, and it will be connecting the major pilgrimage of Sikhs, that is Dera Baba Nanak and Kartarpur Sahib International Highway. So that will also be helpful for those. So let's see a question related to this news. Which of the following places will be joined under the recently announced new Greenfield Corridor? Nakodar to Amritsar City, Bhiwani to Amritsar City, Noida to Amritsar City and Nakodar to Dharamshala. So the correct answer is option A, that is Nakodar to Amritsar City. Now let's see the next news. Gayatri I. Kumar appointed as the new High Commissioner of India to Britain. So recently Gayatri I. Kumar, as you can see in the picture, her photo. So she has been appointed as the new High Commissioner of India to UK, and currently she is the India's ambassador to the European Union, the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg and Belgium. She is a 1986 batch Indian Foreign Service officer, and she replaces Ruchi Ghansham, who retired recently. So let's see a question related to this news. Recently, Gayatri I. Kumar has been appointed as the new High Commissioner of India in which country? France, UK, USA and Germany. So the correct answer is option B, that is UK. So you have to understand that for current affairs, this appointment part is very important. The persons who have been recently appointed to major post, either it is related to some international level or national level, because questions have been asked previously in various exams related to the appointments. So never skip that. Moving to the next news, BJP leader K.N. Lakshmanan passed away. Recently, BJP leader K.N. Lakshmanan died due to old age in Salem, and he twice served as the president of BJP in Tamil Nadu. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed grief over the death of K.N. Lakshmanan. K.N. Lakshmanan played an important role in the anti-emergency movement, and also he will be remembered for his participation in socio-cultural activities. You can see the photo of K.N. Lakshmanan so that it will remain in your mind. So let's see a question related to the news, as the personality in news are very important because questions have been asked and questions can be asked in future as well in your competitive examinations. So recently K.N. Lakshmanan passed away. He was related to which field? Cartoonist, politics, acting and science. So the correct answer is option B, that is politics. Now let's see next news. COVID-19 testing laboratory set up at NEIST Jorhat campus. So recently a COVID-19 testing laboratory has been established in the campus at Northeast Institute of Science and Technology, Jorhat, Assam. And Assam Health Minister Dr. Himanta Biswa Sharma has inaugurated the laboratory. NEIST is the first research and development institute in Assam to open the COVID-19 facility. So a question can be framed that which is the first research and development institute in Assam to open the COVID-19 test facility. So the answer will be NEIST, that is Northeast Institute of Science and Technology. A team of 10 scientists from the institute is actively engaged in isolating RNA from the virus. So let's see next news. France has assured timely delivery of Rafale aircraft to India. Recently, French Armed Forces Minister Ms. Florence Parly has assured timely delivery of Rafale aircraft to India despite the challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic. It has also been agreed to strengthen bilateral defense cooperation between India and France. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh welcomed the French chairmanship of Indian Ocean Naval Symposium from 2020 to 2022. And this Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, it is a biennial event, that is, it takes place after every 2 years. In this, all the countries, all the defense ministers of Indian Ocean regions, they come together and they discuss various issues in the Indian Ocean region. And the Indian Ocean region is divided into many regions, many small regions, and India is one of the major part of this Indian Ocean Naval Symposium. Additionally, the two ministers have agreed to work together to fulfill the India-France joint strategic vision of 2018 on the Indian Ocean region. Talking about Rafale, it is a twin jet fighter aircraft. It can be operated from both aircraft carrier and seashore. The versatile Rafale is capable of carrying out all combat aviation missions. Now let's see the question. From which country is India buying Rafale aircraft? Russia, Japan, France and USA. So the correct answer is option C, that is France. Moving to the next news, Adesh Kumar Gupta appointed as the new head of Delhi unit of BJP. Recently, BJP President JP Nadda appointed former North Delhi Municipal Corporation Mayor Adesh Kumar Gupta as the new head of the Delhi unit. He'll replace Manoj Tiwari, and Mr. Tiwari was appointed as the BJP Delhi unit chief in 2016. Also, Mr. Nadda named former Union Minister Vishnu Dev Sai as Chhattisgarh State President and S. Tikendra Singh as Manipur State Head. Now let's see the question related to this. Recently, Adesh Kumar Gupta has been appointed as the new head of which BJP unit? Kerala, Delhi, Bihar and Manipur. So the correct answer is option B, that is Delhi. Moving to the next news, 3 new plans were announced for the development of electronics manufacturing sector by the Union Electronics and IT Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. These 3 schemes are Production Linked Incentive Scheme, Component Manufacturing Scheme and Cluster Scheme. And these new schemes, they are expected to generate substantial investment, production of mobile phones and their parts to 10 lakh crore by 2025. And about 5 lakh direct, 15 lakh indirect employment opportunities will also be generated. Currently, if we talk about India's global share, so in 2012, the India's global share of electronics was 1.3% and now it has grew to 3% in 2018, which is good progress from our country. And the country has become the second largest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world, and India is now set to emerge as the world's largest electronics and mobile manufacturing country. And of course, the first largest manufacturer of mobile phones in the world is China. Moving to the question, which of the following new schemes have been announced for the development of electronics and mobile manufacturing units? Production Linked Incentive Scheme, Component Manufacturing Plan, Cluster Planning and all of the above. So the correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Moving to the next news, DIIT Institute in Pune developed an artificial intelligence enabled COVID-19 detection tool. Recently, researchers from Defence Institute of Advanced Technology DIIT Pune have developed an artificial intelligence capable COVID-19 detection tool. This tool uses a chest X-ray of patients to identify the infection, any abnormality due to COVID-19 or other type of respiratory disorders can be immediately confirmed by uploading X-rays of suspected patient's chest on this AI device. It will prove to be useful tool for radiologists and can also be used in telemedicine. So this is an important development in the field of medicine, and with help of this radiologist, and it will be very useful for the radiologist, and also any abnormality due to COVID-19 or any other respiratory disorders, it can be easily confirmed by uploading the X-ray of the suspected patients. So now let's see the question related to this news. Recently, which institute has developed artificial intelligence enabled COVID-19 detection tool? And the options are Defence Institute of Advanced Technology Pune, IIT Mumbai, ISC Bangalore and National Institute of Virology Pune. So the correct answer is option A, that is Defence Institute of Advanced Technology Pune has developed artificial intelligence enabled COVID-19 detection tool. And also talking about this artificial intelligence, so recently Ministry of Electronics and IT has launched artificial India's national artificial intelligence portal, and this news is also important because this is the first India's national artificial intelligence portal, and it has been developed by Ministry of Electronics and IT, and also IT industry has participated in this, and National Governance E Division and NASCOM from IT industry will be jointly operating this portal. Moving to the next news, target of 100% domestic tap connection in Arunachal Pradesh under National Jal Jeevan Mission. Recently, Ministry of Jal Shakti has set a target of achieving 100% domestic tap connections in Arunachal Pradesh under the National Jal Jeevan Mission. For this, annual action plan of Arunachal Pradesh has been approved, and the state has proposed to provide 100% tap connection to all houses by March 2023. Talking about Jal Jeevan Mission, it was announced in August 2019, and its objective is to provide piped water supply to all rural households by 2024. The motto of Har Ghar Jal is the part of this mission, and the Ministry of Jal Shakti is the nodal agency for this mission. Now let's see the question related to this. The target under the Jal Jeevan Mission to provide water to every rural household has been set for which year? 2025, 2024, 2023 and 2022. So the correct answer is option B, that is 2024. Moving to the next news, Moody's downgraded the ratings of major Indian corporates. So recently Moody's has downgraded the ratings of major Indian corporates to negative. Moody's Investor Services has downgraded the ratings of leading Indian companies such as ONGC, HPCL, OIL, IOCL. And apart from this, Moody's Investor Service has also downgraded 7 major Indian infrastructure companies including NTPC, NHPC, National Highways Authority of India, Power Grid Corporation of India Limited, GAIL India Limited, Adani and Green Energy, Adani Transmission, etc. Before this, Moody's downgraded India's sovereign rating to Baa3 negative from Baa2. And this Baa3, Ba2, these are investment grade ratings, and based on these investment grade ratings, the countries or the private sector invest in another country or another company. So these are basically Moody's, Standard & Poor. These are the global credit rating agencies which provide credit rating to the country as well as to the private companies. And in India, there is also a credit rating agency like CRISIL, Onicra. And talking about Moody's, it is often referred to as Moody's, an American business and financial services company. It is headquartered in New York, United States. Now let's see the question related to this news. Moody's has downgraded the ratings of major Indian corporates. Which of the following is or are included? Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, National Thermal Power Limited, all of the above. So the correct answer is option D, that is all of the above. Moving to the next news. World Bicycle Day, 3 June. So every year on 3rd June, World Bicycle Day is celebrated. The day was declared by United Nations General Assembly in April 2018. The idea behind this is to recognize the health benefits from cycling, and also we all know that bicycle is a cheap, reliable, simple, clean and environmentally sustainable means of transport. So on this World Bicycle Day, we should take a pledge, make our environment clean by reducing the usage of vehicles with using petrol and diesel, and by using bicycle for keeping ourselves healthy, and also for going to market nearby we can use cycle or we can go on feet, so that we can save our environment. And if the environment will remain clean, pollution free, then it will also benefit us only. Now let's see the question related to this news. World Bicycle Day is observed every year on 7 June, 5 June, 3 June and 1 June. So the correct answer is option C, that is 3 June. So friends, here we have comprehensively covered daily current affairs of 4 June 2020. I hope you all like this session. Please like it, share it as much as you can. You can also mention your views in the comment box. And subscribe to our channel Pendulum Edu, and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications. Keep preparing with us. All the best. Thank you so much.